3-year-old. Just like a 3-year-old. If you take your hand, this is her level of intelligence, so this makes it really scary. If you take your hand with 1 nut and 3, show her the nuts. Put it behind your back. Wait. Out of sight, out of mind. That's really important when you're doing an intelligence test. Bring it back out and say which hand, Kalani. She will always pick the hand with the 3 nuts. Always. But if I take my hand, you can come outside if you want. If I take my hand with 5 nuts in one and 9 in the other, or 6 and 9, and show her that, you know which one they are. I close my hand, put it behind my back. I tell you, you want the most nuts. You'll always pick the hand with the most nuts. She will not. Because it's too many. Like a 3-year-old, she can't grasp that concept. Yeah, thank you, Pele. It's just too many. Like when you go to the supermarket with a 3-year-old and the child sees the cookies and really wants them and is fussing, and you say, no, when we go home I'll give you a popsicle, that 3-year-old will yell and scream and you'll hear them as your frozen foods. But if you've got a 4-year-old in that supermarket and you're telling them to wait, you'll have a popsicle when we get home, the 4-year-old may not like it, but they're quiet because they understand the concept of later. They also understand a little right from wrong about being naughty and not doing that. Kalani, on the other hand, doesn't get that concept. Now, would you give a 3-year-old who has temper tantrums a .38 loaded gun? What a dumb idea, huh? Because the child would have a temper tantrum, shoot mommy, and then cry, Mommy, get up, I'm sorry, why do you have ketchup out your head? You know, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't get it. This is a 3-year-old. Yeah, thanks, Pele. For 70 years. She will live 70 years and she will never get it. Never. She will never go to school. She'll never go to high school. She'll never graduate. My son's 21. She grew up with David playing hide and seek around the couch. She still wants to crawl around and play hide and seek. David's in college at UC Irvine. He's not interested in hide and seek. But she doesn't know this. Because that's not what she can do. Now, to keep her amused and entertained, she has to have enrichment and stimulation every day, so far beyond what most animals require. Normally, by the time a cockatoo is mature, 15 years old, like she is sexually mature, they bite, they scream, or they cluck. Do you see they have cameras? Look, show her your cameras. Just hold up for a second, pretend. Cameras! Cameras! They have cameras! Clap your hands. Show her your camera. Woo, they have cameras! Kalani, what? They have cameras! Now, have you ever seen 3-year-olds come out when you have your dinner party and they come show off? Oh, you just saw that. And then when you say, we're going to play bridge now, we need you in the other room, you know, go watch your TV without your video princesses on, go watch it, and they have a tantrum and a fit. That's her. When we go in the other room and start talking about the other animals, she'll tell us bad. She'll yell at us. She'll tell us to be quiet. She'll call us bad ducks because we are not paying attention to her. So, is a cockatoo a good pet? No, not hardly. They're sweet, they're cuddly, and they're cute when they're little. As they mature, they require more from us than a human can give. They require an incredible amount of time to keep them healthy, psychologically healthy. Not physically, that anyone can do. You can learn that. But it's the psychological health that is so difficult to do with these birds, to keep their well-being up. One of the things we have to do for her constantly is make her brain work. So we do different toys, and we change them and rotate them all the time. And we have to do challenging toys for her. For Tia, a couple of beads on a string and a plastic loop, that's a new toy. That's yesterday's fun thing, and she'll play with those beads for hours. And she'll climb and socialize and kiss and be very happy with a couple of beads. Kalani would untie that knot, throw them on the floor, and say, yeah, right. Not good enough. Now, different birds have different needs. Now, isn't that fun? It's trash. It's fun. It's tactile. It's stimulation. It's touch. It's excitement. It's woo. But it has to be done every day. It's not just food and water and cages cleaned every day. It's enrichment for every animal every day. Now for Pele here. Pele's nuts. Come on, crazy bird. Pele had a sad story. Here's just to let her come out. She was bought by a woman for her husband. He loved the bird very much. They were in their 60s. But then he died. And Pele, who was 5 years old at the time, was just hitting maturity. She lost the only love she'd ever had. She liked the woman too, but it was the man she loved. And when he died, her heart was broken. But the woman's heart was broken too. She just lost her husband of 35 years. So she was planning a funeral and grieving. And Pele was yelling because she was grieving. She hit the cage with her hand and told her to be quiet as Pele yelled. After a couple weeks, she picked her up to hold her, and Pele was very angry and upset at that hand that had been hitting the cage, and she bit her hand pretty badly. That is a Solomon Islands bird, or New Guinea. It's a Vasmari eclectus. The males are green, the females are red, and so Pele bit her hard. She shook her off and never held her again. For 5 years she lived in her cage with straw filled, or just things in her cage and toys, and Pele went nuts. She got food, she got water, she got talking to, but she didn't get that closeness that she had grown up with. And when that's pulled away from an animal, they go nuts. So she gradually went nuts. When we first met Pele, she was stark naked. She was rocking side to side, and I could be in front of her and say, "Hello, bird," and she couldn't see me. She had already started to tear at the skin on her chest. The avian vet, when he first saw Pele, said, "You're not going to be able to save this one, Anne." I said, "Okay, it'll be a challenge." I filled her cage with straw so that she couldn't do the rocking motion. It was packed against her. She had to chew it apart just to do what she wanted to do, the repetitive motion. After about a month, she finally looked at me in the face and said, "Bad." You know, I mean, she saw me. It was pretty funny. Now, she has coincidental speech. She speaks, now she's opening her locks. She finished her other tweet, now she's doing her treasure chest. Now watch us. But she speaks clearly and has a huge vocabulary, but she doesn't know what she's saying. Coincidental. When we walk out of the barn, she might say, "Bye-bye, see you later, have a nice day." We all laugh. Very funny. She doesn't know what she's saying. Sometimes when we walk out of the barn, she says, "Good morning, come on in, answer the cat," you know, or answer the door. You know, I mean, some funny nonsense. It's not like Kalani. When Kalani learns a new word, she puts it in a sentence, even a bad word. She'll say, if she recognizes a car, "Hey, you car, I ride your car, love a job, you and try." When the kids come in the barn, she says, hey kids, got chip?" You know, because they sit down and have their snack, and she gets a snack. And she wants to make sure she's getting it. When it's getting to be nighttime, she says, "I bye by night." She doesn't like to be out here. She goes and sleeps in a separate quiet room because they're cliff dwellers and they don't like to be in the open. It's risky, dangerous, scary. Thanks, yeah. And see how coincidental that is? It's funny. But she could have just as easily said something else. That's funny. I like to be part of the conversation. Now, it's taken me a long time to get Pele to come around and to acknowledge people. I have to be careful to keep my hands down because my hands are still scary. Women's hands. Now, she's done me more harm than any animal I've ever cared for, including mountain lions, bears, bobcats, eagles, anything. She split my finger, she split my lip, she deviated my septum one day when I was covering the cage, lunged and got my nose right through. The plastic surgeon said, "You want a ring in that, Ann?" I'm like, "No, Paul, just fix it." Luckily, she didn't pull down or it would have been really bad. She just went right through. So Pele now acknowledges, "Hi, sweetie." "Hi, baby." Now look at the acknowledgement we're looking for. We're looking for with an eclectus, a slow blink. Very smart bird. Did you get all tall? We don't want you all tall. Tall is a scared posture. Very smart bird. You baby. You baby. Very smart girl. Slow blink. You baby. Good. Until you get down, I'm not going to kiss you. Would you like a kiss? Give me a kiss, baby. You baby. I have to wait for her to give me the signals that tell me I'm not going to get ripped to shreds. Otherwise, my face isn't going next to her. Very smart girl, baby.